We're here with Lzzy and Josh from HALESTORM here on the Jägermeister tour at Royal Oak Music Theater here in Royal Oak, Michigan. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. How's the tour going for you guys so far?
So far, it's been amazing, man. We went out to the West Coast, and there's a lot of places that we haven't really been to too often. And majority of the shows are sold out. We're having a great time. So.
Any cities really getting used to seeing you guys out there and sort of the HALESTORM live show?
Yeah. Well, we're more on tour than we are off tour, so you can't get rid of us too easy.
Yeah. It's a good sign, though. It's a really good sign.
Yeah, we're happy to keep the momentum. We certainly enjoy being out on the road and kind of just moving along and stealing more fans, finding more people to listen to our music and come out to the shows.
It's a great way. Look, they're just taking them with you.
Just taking them, yeah. Notice he didn't say earning fans. He said stealing them.
Yeah, bands want to play with us. We're like, yeah, sure. How many fans you got?
So, how do you go about stealing fans exactly, though?
Just gotta win them over.
Yeah.
Steal their hearts.
Steal their hearts.
It's very poetic.
We have kind of a creepy white van,
So you kidnap them.
Yeah.
Now
bag them.
Put candy out.
Leave them into the van.
Yeah. Ooh, he's candy.
It's a big confession for you guys.
It's all out there now.
It happens. So I guess you got some of these other bands on the tour. How is everybody getting along? How are all these shows going down each night?
They're great, man. I mean, Eve to Adam is really laid back. I had never really hung with them before, and they're freaking awesome dudes, and they just they party hard, man.
Yeah.
They make me feel like an old lady. And then freaking in this moment, they're so sweet. They're awesome, and Marie and I are revolver calendar buddies, so we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we've been friends with them for basically I guess since the beginning of this year. We've sort of met them and
went to a Halloween party.
Went to a Halloween party last year.
Halloween, yeah.
What did you guys dress as?
Well, Maria was this schoolgirl zombie, and
you were Garth.
I was zombie Garth.
Zombie Garth. And Joe was zombie Wayne. I was Carlton from Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince.
That's fantastic.
I won a costume.
Yeah,
party.
Everyone kept calling you different things.
Yeah,
nobody got the Carlton.
Nobody got
Got the Carlton.
Some people did.
Did you go all out, or was it just like seven?
He went all out. He went as far as he could have gone.
I can tell you have the fashion sense. I can really tell.
Please tell me you did the dances.
I did the dance. I did the dance for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, with you guys, you have this album, A Strange Case Of, and I mean, really, the tracks all have a really interesting story behind them, sort of the maturation of you guys, and tell us a little bit about that.
This record developed into just a vehicle for us to show all different sides of us and all of the different things that we enjoy and that we're capable of doing. And it kind of came together on accident, though, because we weren't really planning on doing that. We had no idea what we were doing when we first went in the studio. We got right off the road, had a handful of songs, some of them weren't even finished yet, and went right into the studio. There was a point in time where I was in one room finishing up one song, lyrics to one song, and the guys were in the other room, finishing up the tracks to the last song. It was just nuts for a couple weeks there. We were just blowing it out. And then we took, 2 weeks off or something. And
We took about a month off. We took
took
all of July off, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
June was spent, just scrambling. It was probably 2 to 2.5 weeks of not seeing the light of day, just kind of playing catch up, organizing, getting songs together, finishing up ideas, and recording them. And we kind of came out, to see the sunlight. We're like, okay, it's time to step away for a little bit. And our producer, a bunch of people just happened to be going on vacation. Like, why don't you guys go on vacation? And we said, well, we have to write an album, but we'll move to the beach for a month.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
It was really chill. Things started settling down, and a few things in my life came to be, and I ended up writing these really kind of intimate, personal songs, and songs that up until that point I would have been this is cheesy. I won't even show this to the guys. And ended up doing so, and the label really loved it. They're like, oh my God, we never saw this side of you before, please do more. And we ended up with this like eclectic mixture of all of these crazy songs that each one of them was its own entity. You know, each one of them had its own personality, and we loved them all. We were like, how are we gonna put them all in the same record? So.
And then she wrote Mrs. Hyde.
Yeah,
and
they
figured
it out. There you go.
There's definitely more than
Hyde.
one side of you on this album. It's a really cool thing to see sort of the, you know, the really honest and the really very intimate outlook for you.
I think that the not having the time to overthink anything really helped just, I don't know, squeeze out the human, you know, it's all over the record. Because, yeah, like there was a lot of emotion that went into everything, and I think that's what I'm most proud of with the record.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, could you maybe tell us a little bit about some of the inspiration behind a few of the songs? You know, just maybe without getting too personal, because you said, you know, some of them may have some kind of personal connection, but.
Of course. Well, for instance, some of the more intimate songs were, what set that all into motion was, there was a song that I had written literally on the, it's one of our B-sides, you know, it didn't make it on the full-fledged record. It's called Hate It When You See Me Cry. And just an issue I've had throughout the years where, you know, I've always put this probably very unnecessary pressure on myself to be, you know, to be the tough girl, you know, like, oh, you know, don't get me wrong, I love going out in my freaking high heels and kicking some ass, but I always kind of felt ashamed when I couldn't handle it. You know, well, why can't I handle it? Why is it, you know, so it's always been an issue of mine, and I finally put that down in that song, and I don't recommend this, but I finished a bottle of wine myself, ended up writing the song on my bed and having the brilliant idea to record it into my phone and send it to my A&R guy. Immediately regretting it the next morning, but because I woke up to like, you know, 6 missed calls from him, and I'm like, oh, I'm in so much trouble. But he called up and he's like, I really love this song. Do you have more like this? And I'm like, well, yeah, dude, awesome, you know, sweet. So, you know, again, I don't recommend going, but apparently it worked out that way. A lot of the songs on the record are like that. They're just issues that I have now felt incredibly comfortable to deal with and to put down on paper. It was very therapeutic for me, this entire record.
So how would you say the sound of HALESTORM has kind of progressed since your first album to this one? You know, obviously you said intimate, a lot more personal.
I mean, I think that we're more comfortable too. We were more comfortable in the studio this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big thing is after recording that first album, I think it was there was a lot of political angles going on, and we fared them well, and we learned how to kind of work that a little better this time. But also, I mean, for that first album, we had songs on there that we had played for 5 years, 6 years before that. So I mean, it was really just it was an instant like creative purge for us on this album. But I mean, as rushed as it may have felt in the beginning, we had already matured so much that it was you know, we knew we could top that first record months after.
We had a lot of support from the team in the studio too. Like I remember the one time, they had us like, well, just go in and jam. It sounds really awesome. Yeah. I ended up singing like through a paper towel holder. Yeah, I don't know how it ended up there, but it was very weird in Pink Floyd. We experimented with a lot. Basically,
we did a lot of experimenting.
Just followed whatever got us excited and recorded everything because we figured, well, we can always delete it later. So yeah.
Any future, you know, unreleased material coming through?
I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot. How many songs did we? We had to narrow it down from so many.
We had a lot of songs.
Gotta be like what? 60
what we recorded was maybe 17 or 17 to 20, but there's still a lot of B-sides that didn't even make the production floor. And
which were really good. So.
That we liked and we'd love to get out there. So I would expect to hear them sometime in the near future.
Keep your ears peeled.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys, your hard work's paid off because just recently, just the other day, you guys were nominated for a Grammy.
I know, isn't that crazy?
For the song Love Bites and So Do I, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that like? You're up against some major competition.
We're still in shock, we're still waiting for somebody to be like, yeah, that was a total mix-up, we really meant that for somebody else, sorry. No, it's really crazy. It's one of those things that we never thought, we never really thought would have happened to us. We joked about it. We were like, oh, it would be so funny, wouldn't it? Do you think we were up? No. So, I wasn't even paying attention, really.
Yeah.
No.
I'll watch the Grammys, but, I don't pay attention to, who gets nominated and stuff, So we found out, we were a couple days ago, we were in Madison, Wisconsin, in the middle of our set, and I'm about to do our piano ballad break-in, so everything's kind of quiet down anyway. And Joe comes running across the stage. He's like, "We got nominated for Grammy." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Told the audience it was a great night. The rest of the set was like a complete wash because we're all couldn't wipe the stupid grin off our faces. So it was crazy.
That's awesome, guys. That's really good. Tell us a little bit about the relationship with the fans and sort of that process of being involved with other people's lives and inspiring people and talking to people about your own experiences.
It's incredible. It's a give and take, and people come up to us all the time, and I was talking to this recently, saying, you inspire me so much to keep going, but in a huge way, especially for myself. We've had the opportunity to get to know a lot of these people and their stories and their letters. We got physical letters when we were in the studio.
In the studio, yeah.
And they made their way onto our songs. One specifically, Rock Show, was written because a 13-year-old girl sent me a 13-year-old guitar playing girl sent
Great
me
guitar player.
great, yeah. She can play Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. It's freaking amazing. And she sent me this letter talking about her first rock show, which was a HALESTORM show, and her parents bought her a guitar, and this whole thing about how it changed the course of her life. And so ended up taking this letter into one of our writing sessions. Like, we have to write this song for her, and so it just comes full circle, and between us and the fans and the stations and the venues for letting us play, we're all in this thing together. So
absolutely. You mentioned you kind of wrote that song for for her, and you mentioned that HALESTORM was her first concert. What was your guys' first concert? If you can remember.
Well, technically, according to my parents, when I was 2, I was at a Cheap Trick concert, but I don't remember that, so that doesn't count. My first concert, when I was a kid, was a metal band. Well, we went to a lot of local shows as a kid, so my first concert was actually a metal band called Spine Belt from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and they're actually really awesome.
Yeah.
But it was them and a couple other bands, and I remember being jealous that I wasn't up there, There was also in that lineup, it was a kind of a benefit concert thing, and in that lineup was a female fronted band called Oslin back in the, and that she was scary. And I liked that. I was like, how can I do that? So it's, it's, I think that definitely, you catch the bug early.
My first was, I don't know, I guess my first was probably Tower of Power, an old punk band.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I would see them every year they'd come to this local theater. And, I was a fan since I was a kid, and my dad, my brothers, and I would all go see Tower of Power every year.
That's awesome. Obviously, you guys have toured with a lot of bands. You guys kind of what are some of the bands that you guys have toured with and know who you like to, you like to watch their sets, and you like the fact that you've been able to tour with them and such,
I mean, we've been blessed, man. We've been touring with some crazy people, between Disturbed and Stone Sour and Avenged Sevenfold and freaking some of the greats. We just got to play with Alice Cooper. Got to share the stage with Sebastian Bach in Japan. There's just been so many that, you never think, that it's actually going to happen for you.
Slayer, I've
Slayer
never
was
been
awesome.
like, I don't know, I just never really like
Yeah.
listened to them. They put on a punishing show just the
Oh.
whole time. It's just like, it sounds like war guns being fired.
Yeah, and what's amazing, and this is a testament to all you freaking little rock and rollers out there, Slayer, no tracks, no earplugs, no, which we don't recommend.
My ears were
But
wear
but
earplugs.
no
Be safe.
no in-ears, no anything, like no trickery
So good.
whatsoever. They were so
Yeah,
tight
they
and
shred.
so amazing. It's really inspiring, you know.
On that note, what do you guys aspire to when you get on stage?
Not to screw up. Don't screw up.
That's a good start.
That's a good start.
At least the first note.
For me,
That's a good start.
I like to get it to a point where I'm lost in it a little bit. That's a good show for me. A good show is that when it gets to a point where you're not thinking about what the next chord is. You're not thinking about, oh, can I hit this note? You're not thinking about anything going on in your life. You're just right there, just in the moment. And I know that's a really vague way to put it. I just have no way to describe it. Like, it's almost like a tingly feeling too, and or like a blackout. Like, cause like there are some nights where like there'll be like 5 songs that go by, and I won't be able at the end of the set remember those songs, like what happened, because you're just in it with them. So that's what I.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that I think we're all pretty good at is trying to make that connection with the fans.
Yeah.
Just make sure that they're there having a good time, because that's all we want. Just to have some fun and play some music, and the fact that they like our music is awesome. So
Why are you here?
Us?
I think we got one question left for you. We like to ask this everybody we talk to. It's basically, so far on this tour, what has been like the most crazy or wildest story that has happened
On this tour.
just in general?
crazy or wild story.
I mean, RJ is in himself a crazy wild story.
Yeah.
Just any moment waiting to happen. I'm trying to think of what has gone down this tour.
Crazy wild story. I mean, last night was pretty wild in that it was hot. It was so hot in the club, and people were fainting. Like this one woman, they pulled over she was dead to the world. They had her on the ground trying to give her water, and then ended up carrying her out to kind of wake her up. But I mean, that was pretty crazy. We finally played Cheyenne, Wyoming, which was the last state we had to play in the lower 48. And yeah, and it was this old theater from 1800s, mid 1800s.
All original, like wallpaper.
was
From
the 1800s.
Yeah, from the Wild West, man. It was crazy. Well, it used to be a whorehouse.
Yeah,
right?
it was a brothel.
Yeah, it was a brothel. Yeah.
And downstairs
Yeah.
in the green room, there was just this cutout in the wall. There was a tunnel system, an underground tunnel system for doctors and lawyers to get to the brothel without anybody seeing them.
Yeah, it's so
Crazy.
funny.
Yeah, but
So funny.
it was really. I mean, we're history buffs.
Yeah.
We love that. We love here. I mean, anywhere really. The history of a place. We really enjoy kind of sinking into, and that was
We
a
should
fun
have
one.
gone down the tunnels.
Yeah, we should have. Apparently, you can still walk down there. So
Next time.
What
Yeah.
do you think you would have found?
I don't know.
don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to get
It's all
More
about the
history.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the journey.
All right, well, we're here with Lzzy and Josh from HALESTORM. Thanks, guys.
Anytime.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.